Please, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Like and subscribe and make little comment like this. The channel go up in the algorithm and there's more views. Also, I've done a neuroscience pack. I hope you really enjoy it. It's all to do with how children learn. There's activities and it's in the description. Thank you very much for your support and see you in the podcast. Thank you so much, Kata. So my next question is, have you encountered educational practices that contradict this understanding and potentially hinder a child's development?
Totally. So every day I encounter this, unfortunately, and I'm not an exception either. So obviously we have well built-in schemas about how you educate a child, and then you do the same mistake even here. But unfortunately, when I walk into a preschool in Hungary, for example, I see chairs, I see tables. That's the first thing that when you walk into a room you see. And then I'm already acknowledging the fact that so we learn nothing about small children like age 3 to 6, that what they want to do, they want to explore, they want to move all day. And my favorite is when they are punished for the movements, right? So serious. I think these are serious issues in current education. I understand they also need to work as a group. So obviously, it's a very challenging area to develop, I think, in the future as well. But if they are more limited, then they can explore. Then the brain doesn't work as it should, and definitely doesn't achieve its high potential. So the children want to explore because they need to explore, because that will also make them feel secure, I think, of their environment. So they are also in the school all day. Sometimes they get out and then they can explore, and they can then go to a park and explore. And then sometimes they can go to the theater and then they can learn, something. But it should be the opposite, I think, in a way. So every day they should explore, and sometimes they should be in a quiet environment. So every day should be a part of the education when it's about what we are exploring today and how we are exploring them. So nature is the biggest topic I think you can ever teach to a child. And they want to understand natural laws. They want to understand why a tree is built up with roots and all these things. But if they never see a root of a tree, then why would they be interested? Why will they develop any curiosity later on about nature, right? So first of all, they are nature deprived. And then they are also put in a setting which is, we know that it's not good for the brain, because, and now I'm touching upon the brain. I'm really not an expert on brain, and I really can't go into details, but the famous part of the brain is the homunculus, for example, which we know it's like a little man, we call, and we know that fine motoric skills, so finger use, mouse, they are the biggest areas. Fingers are the biggest areas in this homunculus, which represents the human brain in the motor cortex. So to reach the level to able to grasp, to write with a pencil, you need to first develop the hard skills. So run, jump, crawl, and all these kind of activities that helps the development of the motor skills, which will eventually, I would say, this is my comparison, like instrument tuning, right? So you first have the chords implemented, but the fine tuning is a different thing. You have certain skills when you are able to do that.
I find this fascinating and I love it. And it's funny because
it's just never enough to read about.
I did work in an IB school
before, and their whole educational system, when especially the PYP, they call it primary years program, it's very much based on project, on inquisitive, so lots of questions, and I do remember the children being very eager to come to school, and they wanted to get on with their project. They really wanted to explore, and it was really amazing how in fact, having this kind of approach to education helps the children really enjoying the process of learning as well, because that's also, like you said, exploring. So
Yeah.
that's really
The
fascinating.
the key word is remain interested, remain motivated, right? So
Yeah.
if you are not motivated, then you don't do it. It's the same with people. If I want to do sports, I will do it only when I have some success in it. And well, I will not talk about now much about, for example, attention. And I'm also not an expert, but I had the opportunity to work with one of the best people. And we know also now that attention also, for example, so a child to be able to focus and keep sustained attention needs an optimal arousal level. So this is how everything is connected, right? It's not just you say that you need to learn this. You need to find the way that he can be interested, right? Because not every child is interested, I don't know, in math or in music learning. But I'm pretty sure that most of them can be motivated in a certain way to be at least on a minimum level interested. So yes, they will clap their hands if the activity is right, and they will learn some rhythmicity, and they will be able to play with the notes and the rhythm if actually they are interested on some level. So yeah, a lot of questions around this, I think.
Yes, it is really, really interesting. What do you find most exciting about the current research in neuroscience, especially as it relates to early childhood development? So obviously you touched on it a little bit, but is there any other aspect you would like to share? Are there any more aspects you would like to share?
Of course, I think there are so many. It's really difficult to cherry pick them, but I have my own preferences, and I'm talking about those ones. So I'm very interested in early cognitive development or early emotional development. So we are talking about infants, and this was my research area. So how mother-infant synchrony, for example, impact cognitive development or emotional development. This was my thesis topic, and I hope that I will have the chance to explore it further. This is one of the topics I think we also that we keep ignoring. So we know a lot about this, how important the maternal care in early childhood and how society goes against it completely. Mothers working when the baby is 6, 9 months old. And obviously everybody has a choice to do or not to do, but or hopefully most of the people have this choice, but we ignore these factors when it comes to child development. And so cognitive development, attentional development, it's really an interesting area because this is all related to eventual cognitive control. So this doesn't happen overnight. Many studies, and I don't know if I mentioned her name, so Professor Rueda that I worked with in Canada in her laboratory. So she wrote about it, for example, extensively, and how from an infant you become a toddler, and what's the path of this development, cognitive development, and how a child will able to only pay attention for longer periods, sustained attention, it's called. If obviously the first basic, the mother directed gaze, for example, or orientation of your attention develops as well. So infants are born, for example, with stimulus-driven external attention requirement. So they will eventually turn their head where something is happening. But to able to control your own mechanism, this has to develop. No, it's called endogenous attention, which is goal directed. So if I want to grab an object, then my attention needs to be narrower and focused on the task. And this develops in the toddlerhood as well, or it develops in the school, because how we will become adults who can control their own life if we have these tools for life. So, and this, I think, strictly related to self-discipline. So I don't know if you know the marshmallow test, the famous marshmallow test. This is one of my favorite. If you put these marshmallows in front of a child and you say, here's a marshmallow for you, but if you don't touch it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, when I come back, I will give you another one. And they are not able to do it. Most of them, they are not able to do it, and they just grab the marshmallow and they don't care there is a consequence. So they could have more. They don't understand probably in one level, but later on, these skills has to develop in order to do your tasks on a daily basis. I think cognitive control, emotional control is huge. I think today's society, these are the very important topics, or at least for me, right? It seems like we always lack of self-discipline, and I'm not an exception. So it's like every individual, I think, is self-discipline that we lack most of the time to function in our maternal role, paternal role, or working days. So I'm interested in this and how we can develop these skills better.
Thank you so much. Yes, I agree with you. Self-discipline is a something we all need.
I think so.
Yes, so thank you so much.